First dates can feel like a high stakes audition for a role you're not even really sure you want. You're sitting across from someone who might be great or might just be really into CrossFit. And somehow you're supposed to be charming, self aware, and emotionally available in under 90 minutes. And then, crickets. No follow up, no second date. Just enough ambiguity to make you spiral for a full week. The thing is, when first dates don't lead to second dates, there's usually a reason. And 9 times out of 10, it's something small, something you can fix. So let's talk about what might be getting in your way. That's at all interesting. I hope you'll stick around because that's what's on the agenda. You know what makes a date feel like a dentist appointment? Getting grilled. How long was your last relationship? Do you want kids? What's your 5-year plan? I mean, slow down. We haven't even ordered drinks yet. That kind of rapid fire Q&A might feel like you're being thorough, but what it really does is suck all the air out of the room. You're not building connection. You're just running through a checklist. Try instead to ask questions that open someone up instead of pinning them down. Instead of, do you like to travel? Say, what's the one place you've always wanted to go, even if it's ridiculous? Give them space to show you who they are without the spotlight interrogation. You don't want to talk too much, you don't want to talk too little, because both ends of the spectrum will tank your date. If you're steamrolling the conversation, your date's going to feel like a captive audience. But if you barely say a word, they're going to wonder why you even showed up. You have to remember this isn't a performance and it's not an interview. It's somewhere in the middle. It's a vibe check. Are you curious? Are you fun to talk to? Are you giving them anything to connect to or just lobbing back safe answers like it's a tennis drill? If you tend to be a person who overshares, know that you're going to have to pull back a bit. Ask something personal and listen to the answer. If you tend to stay quiet, bring something to the table. In fact, this is the perfect opportunity to refresh yourself before you go into the date with those couple stories that I told you to have handy. The ones you want to make little notes to remind yourself what they are, put them in a note in your phone, and take a little peek before you enter wherever it is that you're having this date, knowing that you can pull them out if you want to share something without having to wait for the perfect question. Social media has trained us to curate our lives into highlight reels. And unfortunately, a lot of people bring this same energy to a date. They spend the entire time essentially listing their resume, the prestigious job, the impressive hobbies, exotic vacations. And it's natural to want to impress somebody you're interested in and just meeting. Constantly showcasing your accomplishments, though, comes across as trying too hard. Or worse, like you're insecure. It also creates distance, honestly, because nobody can relate to a highlight reel. So share your passions, not just your achievements. Instead of saying, I'm really doing well in my career, talk about what excites you about your work or a recent challenge that you truly enjoyed solving. Vulnerability, let me repeat it, vulnerability creates connection. Share something that you're learning, struggling with, or really excited about, even if it's not at all impressive. The person who talks about their failed attempts at sourdough bread maybe, or their obsession with true crime podcasts is infinitely more relatable than the person who sounds like their LinkedIn profile came to life. Here's a subtle but powerful way that people actually sabotage their own dates. They turn into human chameleons. Whatever their date says, they immediately agree. Love spicy food? Oh, me too. Hate romantic comedies? Ugh, can't stand them. Think pineapple on pizza is a crime against humanity? Totally agree. These people are people pleasers, and sometimes all it takes is a good cup of coffee, and suddenly the thing that you've been overthinking just makes sense. That's kind of what it's like being a subscriber here. It's not just about coffee, it's about clarity. So that's why I'm encouraging you to subscribe to the channel. I mean, I'll still be sitting here sipping on my coffee and offering up some common sense as I do. You just need to be able to find your way back here. So hit that button. All right, now we can get back to the good stuff. While people pleasing might seem safe, it's actually incredibly boring. When you agree with everything, you really just become forgettable because you don't stand for anything. You're essentially presenting yourself as a blank slate rather than an actual human being, a person with preferences and personality. Not only should you have opinions, I believe you should own them and share them, respectfully, of course. If they mention loving horror movies and you can't stand them, don't pretend to be a fan. Instead, you might say, oh, yeah, I'm more of a comedy person myself. I'm too much of a wimp for scary movies. But what got you into horror films? What was the first one that really hooked you? This approach shows that you're your own person while still being interested in their perspective. It also gives them something to remember about you. The goal isn't to create conflict. It's to create authentic moments where your real personality gets to shine through. We all have complicated histories, bad breakups, difficult family situations, maybe, career disappointments, who knows, health challenges, hopefully not. But these experiences shape us. They shouldn't dominate your first date conversation. Nothing kills romantic potential faster than spending the evening processing your latest therapy revelations or explaining why all your exes were horrible. Your date signed up for a cocktail and an appetizers or a game of mini golf, not an unpaid counseling session. Doesn't it just feel right to instead focus on who you are now and what you're excited about moving forward? If past experiences come up naturally in conversation, you can acknowledge them really briefly without diving headfirst into the deep end. Like if they ask about your last relationship, you might say, oh, we were together for 2 years, but we ultimately wanted really different things out of life. Taught me a lot about what I'm looking for now, so I'm really thankful for that. And then redirect to the present. What about you? Are you close with your family? This shows emotional maturity without making baggage the star of your show. Dating is supposed to be fun, remember? Yet so many people treat first dates like, I don't know, group therapy sessions. They complain about their job and their commute, the ex that they had to deal with, the weather, the service at the restaurant, the state of the world. While everyone appreciates authenticity, constant negativity is exhausting. It makes you seem like someone who drains energy rather than adds to it. Please, come prepared with things that genuinely excite you. What made you laugh recently? What are you looking forward to? What's going well with your life? This doesn't mean being fake or ignoring real challenges. It means choosing to focus on the good stuff during what should be an enjoyable evening. If something genuinely bad happened recently that you need to mention, acknowledge it very briefly and then pivot. Work was really, really stressful this week, but I'm really excited to be here with you. This is exactly what I needed to clear my head. In our hyper-connected world, being fully present has become a rare superpower. People on dates are frequently checking their phones, scanning the room, mentally rehearsing what they're going to say next instead of actually listening to what's happening right now. When you're not present and in your body in the moment, you miss opportunities for connection. You don't catch the subtle jokes or the interesting details or the moments where you could ask a really fantastic follow-up question, one that deepens the entire conversation and changes the whole outlook. Treat your phone like it doesn't exist for the whole date. Make eye contact when they're talking and ask questions based on what they just said rather than moving to the next topic in your mental list that you've brought with you. Practice active listening, not just waiting for your turn to talk, but actually engaging with their words. When they mention something interesting, you need to lean in. That sounds really amazing. What was that like? Or I've never thought about it that way. Tell me more. Here's the perspective shift that changes everything. Stop treating dates like auditions where you're trying to get the part. You're not just trying to impress them. You're also deciding if they impress you. So you've got to ask yourself, did they seem genuinely interested in getting to know me? Were they kind to the server or the waitstaff? Did they have interesting things to say? Did they make me laugh or make me feel really comfortable? Were they present and engaged? Dating works best when both people are actively choosing each other, not when one person is desperately trying to be chosen. And this mindset shift alone will make you more attractive because confidence and self-respect are truly magnetic qualities. Remember, not every date needs to lead to a second one. You're not for everybody, and that's perfectly fine. You're not everybody's cup of coffee. Sometimes people just aren't compatible, and sometimes the timing isn't right. That's also an option. But if you're consistently not getting second dates despite having pretty good conversations, then these 7 areas are definitely worth examining. The goal isn't to become somebody else. It's to become the very best version of yourself. Show up authentically, be genuinely interested in the other person, and trust that the right connections will happen naturally. Now, stop overthinking your last date and start looking forward to your next one. I hope you found that interesting or helpful. If you did, you might want to check out this here episode. Oh, and hey, before you go, please give my little mom the thumbs up that she's requesting. She thinks it'll make her Wi-Fi signal stronger. And don't forget to subscribe, please. It's easier than trying to figure out what to text your date the next morning. Appreciate you being here with me today, and until next time, have a good one.